Hey guys, and welcome back to Gold Rush, where we are digging gold, surprisingly. Well, I'm just back from a lovely 2-day trip away, 3-day trip away, where yeah, it was great. Don't sound too convincing, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I'm just back from a trip away, and loads of rage, plenty of rage in my heart. Not because of the trip away, not because of the neighbours, but actually because of fucking mobile game that I play. So I've spoken about it before, it's Marvel Contest of Champions, and oh man, I don't know, it's like, so to put it bluntly, there's two states of being when you're playing video games. There's two states, well not of being, there's two states of being pissed off at a video game. There's being salty, where you're annoyed at the game or you're annoyed at other players, and then there's being lardy, where you're annoyed at yourself. And this is something that I've lived by. I love these two definitions. They're actually from a Twitch streamer slash YouTuber called Knorr, who does Blood Bowl videos. He's also the public relations or community manager for Paradox, and he always said it about Blood Bowl and how salty is bad. Don't be salty, don't be angry at the game and don't be like angry at other players, because 9 times out of 10 there's always something that you could have done better, so it's better to be lardy. But the problem is, recognizing your own faults and it's you that is shit makes it so much worse, and that's the problem with Marvel Contest of Champions. So the game is it's very rare. It does happen, but it's very rare that you come across something in the game that is just straight up unfair, that is just in there, and unless you have the exact right character to do that, then you're gonna die. You're gonna like lose your characters, or you're gonna like entirely wipe. But there is a lot of it that is based on skill, like actual player skill, which is where the lardiness comes in. And I had it today where I was just playing like trash, and I could not defeat this this boss, and it was pissing me off, and I was like getting proper raging, because I realized that it wasn't because like all the mistakes I was making that were getting me killed wasn't because the game was unfair. No, it was because I was shit. And that's one of the hardest realizations to make. But it's like, fuck! If I wasn't just such a fucking retard, then I would have been able to do it. But nah, hey ho, there we go. But it is very rare that you get to a situation where it's like, oh well, that's just unfair, like I couldn't have done anything better there. Especially in that game. Can I help you? You're stealing my cable for charging my controller. You bitch. Susie's playing Monster Hunter. She thought it was fine! Did it up to my fucking recording! Not like it matters, it's only Gold Rush. I say it's only Gold Rush, it's not like we're talking about anything important here, just talking about me being raging. Like I said, we're just back from the... Why the fuck did she need mine? She's got like 6 of her own. Anyway, I was shouting, yeah. Yes, because I live to fucking cater to your needs, women. Grumble, grumble, fucking grumble. I'll just come into your fucking office, interrupt your video because I was too fucking stupid to get a fucking charger. I don't even, you know the funniest thing? I didn't even fucking put it in my office. She did. She brought it in my office. Alright, how are we actually doing on this? 45%. So yeah, pretty lardy when it came to that. I was wanting to throw my fucking phone out the window. Yeah, like I say, it's very rare that you end up with that any game you get to the point where it's like, oh, that's just unfair. Most of the time it's not unfair, it's just you didn't see the solution to the problem. Which I guess is my issue when it came to Marvel Contest of Champions, was that I did see the solution to my problem, and it was get good scrub. But yeah, I got to say, was pretty pissed off about that. Anyway, what have you guys been up to? Yeah, that much. I know, I can't really say that there's been anything that's really pissed me off recently. I mean, Shaun White was, you know, the snowboarder Shaun White. Well, he was once accused of... here we go. It starts. He was once accused of sexual harassment by someone in his band, like a chick in his band, I think it was. And it ended up settling out of court. It never went to court, ended up settling out of court. And he's obviously been at the Winter Olympics in Pyongyang. And there's a load of people going on about like, oh well, why are people reporting about Shaun White and not talking about the sexual assault allegations against him? And it's like, well, maybe because those sexual assault allegations were settled out of court, and there's literally nothing to talk about other than that. Like, there was allegations brought against him, he settled out of court, whether it be to because he was guilty or because he knows that these fucking, if you go to court over it in all these fucking cases, regardless, you will always be known as that guy, the sexual assault guy. But yeah, it's like, maybe that's why they're not talking about it, because all your hashtag MeToo bullshit is only actually important when someone is convicted. Like, if someone gets a sexual assault allegation that's so fucking bad, like everyone likes to fucking say it is, then why the fuck would she have settled out of court? She would have wanted justice, surely. And then this is when people come back and they say, no, but maybe they didn't want to prolong the suffering. Okay, so you stop prolonging the suffering by taking their money. Great. Good one. Yeah, bullshit. So yeah, I think that was the only thing that really got me on my soapbox while I was away. I think half my issue was I just wasn't checking Twitter, which is probably for the best for everyone in the world. I see a lot of people talking about how, oh, Twitter is the best social media, oh, Snapchat's too complicated now after the update, and Instagram's just turned into videos and stories and Instagram stories, and but Twitter, oh, Twitter's the greatest. No, Twitter's not the fucking greatest. It's full of fucking whingy little bitches. They need to grow up and get some life experience about them. Oh, Stager, you just sound like a salty old man. Well, better than being a fucking snowflake millennial, let's put it that way. And yes, I know I'm a millennial. But come on, man. Like, can't live your life getting your feelings hurt constantly. I just poured most of that fucking dirt out. Yeah, you can't live your life getting your fucking feelings hurt. Grow a pair of balls. But Stager, I'm non-binary. How can I grow a pair of balls? I sexually identify as neither a fucking male or a female. I'm a walrus. Oh god, okay. Okay, Mr. Straw Man. I'm not a straw man, I'm a straw person. Oh, fuck off. I laughed at fucking Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister. The thing about him where he was like, oh, don't you mean people kind? And Twitter blew up and they're like, oh my god, Justin Trudeau, you're amazing. Oh, I want to move to Canada. Oh my god, you're so great. And then in the interview after it, he's like, yeah, it was like I was making fun of the fact that the woman was using these non-gender specific terms for stuff that aren't really gender specific in the first place. The room seemed to understand it, but the internet just got a bit confused. It's like he was basically ripping the piss out of the woman, and he was fucking heralded as a social justice warrior when he really wasn't. He was ripping the piss out of said SJW. Ah man, life's funny. Life's funny when you've got people that get offended by everything. The professionally offended. Yeah, it was Philip DeFranco that I heard say that, the professionally offended. Or as I like to call them, the perpetually offended, but... Yeah, it's like... I think you got anything better to do. But then again, no they don't, because they fear human interaction, so the only thing that they can do is sit on their computers or phones or tablets or whatever and spout their garbage rhetoric online. I find it funny, I was actually conversing with a lady in the Tesco, aka the supermarket, and it was a female cashier. Was talking to her, was just laughing basically at the fact that she was sitting there with literally no queue or anything. She was just sitting there and she was like keeping herself busy by like messing about with bags or something, and while she was waiting on the next customer. And there was a queue at the self-service. I think you guys have got them in the States as well, for any of you yawn Americans. I don't know how prevalent they are in Europe yet, but we've got them here in the UK quite fucking everywhere. These self-service checkouts that never fucking work. Please wait for a member of staff. Ugh. Fucking bane of my existence. Please wait for assistance, I think it is that she says. Anyway, there's a queue for these self-service checkouts. Yeah, this cashier that was sitting there, who will put your shit through quicker because you don't have to wait for whenever they break, which is inevitable if you've got more than one item. It'll break and you'll need authorization required. Fuck off. But yeah, there was a queue of at least like 6 people at least waiting to use the self-service while the cashier was just sitting there. It's like, wow. I was like, this is society, man. It's like, fuck interacting with another human, because Jesus, there might be fucking, I might have to say something. It's like, I would much rather just deal with a computer because they don't judge me. It's like, cashiers don't judge you, don't give a fuck, come on. It's like, ugh. Fucking, oh my god. People are that worried nowadays about being judged by others. Oh no, I can't do that. What if someone judges me? It's like, oh fuck off, man. Why do you even care what other people think? Why? Because you're too fucking worried about your fucking Twitter followers and how many people follow me on Twitter and you didn't like my Instagram poster. Why did you unfollow me? It's like, why is that fucking... People are so concerned about this outward perception of themselves. It's like, if anyone has the right to be concerned with the outward perception of themselves, it should be me, because it's my fucking job and I don't give a fuck. I actually don't care. Like, you can, oh, what's that Eminem lyric? You can call me an asshole, I'm glad, because I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would you say I am? In the papers, the news every day, I am. I don't care because it's just the way I am. Yeah, it's like, call me an asshole, call me a dickhead, call me a fucking cunt, like, call me whatever the fuck you want, because I couldn't care less what anyone thinks about me. I was like, what? Because I know who I am. The people who care about me know who I am or what I am or where I am. And that's pretty much all I fucking care about. Is making sure that I can go to sleep at night and be happy with my actions during the day. And if I'm not, then I aim to rectify that. But other than that, stop fucking caring. A stranger says hello to you in the street, fucking say hello back, smile, wave, do whatever the fuck you want. It's like the people on fucking social media you see that complain about, oh my god, like, I had to interact with someone on a bus, I had to sit beside someone on a bus today, that's ridiculous. It's like, calm your ham. Oh, there was a bus company that tried to make, like, curvy seats on a bus for families and stuff like that. Bear in mind, it was a fucking stupid idea. and to try and help people like have a chat, you know? It's like, honestly, best bus rides I have ever been on, best bus rides, best train rides, are when someone sits down and you get the crack with them, you have a chat, you're like, oh, what are we up to, like, oh, where are you off to, oh, just up, oh, right, okay, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've had some amazing trips up to Dundee, on the train, where it's like a 2-hour train or something like that, where you just get the crack with someone who's sitting next to you because it's a busy train. I don't know if it's just a Scotland thing, because I remember... Fuck, here's a story for you. Oh, I've got 5 minutes, better make it quick. I remember down in London, I think it was for the Wolfenstein event for Bethesda. They didn't actually go on, but that's a different story for a different day. I probably already told it, but meh. So I was going to get the train, and we're at Euston Station, and waiting on the train. Train finally shows up, like what platform it's in on the timetable, and people start fucking running, and I shit you not, it was like a zombie apocalypse style, like crowds sprinting for the train. And I remember being like, what the fuck, like, is the train like, is it running super late and like we've only got a minute to get on the train or something? And I looked and it's like, no, we've got like 15 minutes to get on the train. Like, what the fuck? So I like ambles down, like in stitches at this point, at how fucking ridiculous all these people are. And it's like, the people were sprinting to get on the train so they could get a seat. And I was like, I says to one of the guys, one of these Londoners, because funnily enough, I got on the train. Alright, this is where it ties into what I was saying. I got on the train and there was seats fucking everywhere. And there was people standing because they didn't want to sit beside people. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I fucking parked my arse next to these two London businessmen. And I turned to one of them and I started laughing. I was like, do people always sprint for these trains? I was like, that's ridiculous. I was like, it was like a fucking Takeshi's Castle or some shit. I don't think I profaned. I don't think I swore. But, so it was like Takeshi's Castle or something. Like a game show. It's like, oh, I better run. Got on the train. Oh, it's leaving without me. And the guys were so embarrassed because obviously they had ran to get their seats. But I just ripped the absolute piss out of it. I was like, what the, like... I was like, why do people run? He's like, oh, to get seats. I was like, yeah, but I walked and I got a seat. So why do all these people run? Especially the ones that are standing. Oh, people don't like to sit beside each other. It's like, why? In case some mad Scotsman comes on and speaks to them. Like, what? That's just mental, man. Mental. Londoners. Get over yourselves. Seriously. Oh, it's like, oh, man. Oh, I'll never understand it. I'll never understand these people. They're nuts. They're actually fucking loonballs. Oh, man. The world's a funny place. It's like you quite often hear stories, and it's they're often like tongue-in-cheek, like piss-take stories of like northern English people or Scottish people going into London and they've been arrested for saying hello to strangers on the street. Because that's one of the things that is weird about Glasgow. Anyone will talk to you about anything. Like, you'll be sitting at a bus stop and like an old granny will strike up a conversation about like her day and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like most of the time, a lot of the time you'd be like, oh my god, this old woman's talking to me. But see some of the stories I heard with fucking gold, man. Like sometimes it's just like, it is good to hear just a daft story from an old biddy. But yeah, there's like, you always get these stories that are like, oh, British, fucking Northern English man goes to London and gets arrested for saying hello to strangers on the street. It's like, obviously it's like a tongue-in-cheek, like piss take at how like the capital is so messed up that people won't even say hello to each other on the street, type thing. it's like it's such a weird culture down there, and I feel like they try to push that culture on everywhere else via social media, and it's mental. It's like, no, you can't just say hello to a stranger. It's like fucking. It won't be long until yes, you can be actually arrested for that. That's harassment, sexual assault. Anyway, this has been the grumblings of a coffeeless Scotsman. But it looks like we've run out of time for this episode, so as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been Steejo, you've been awesome. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.